I feel like this is how dudes talk, right? Oh, Josh Allen, trash. He's you know, he laid into Joe Flacco. Some of it wasn't necessarily accurate. Like, I don't agree with the accuracy of some of his depiction of players, but he's entitled to his opinion, and he's at a position that this is allowed and almost expected, right? Like, he wants to be the next prime time. He wants to be the next Richard Sherman, and this is how he wants to carry himself. It's bringing attention to him, and I think all of that is by design. So I guess I ask you, Jason, did he cross the line?
Not at all. This is outstanding, Doug. You know, sometimes we'll talk about where's the win when there's a statement or an incident. This is all victories for the NFL. Finally, we're not talking about the anthem, right? Finally, we're not talking about protests and maybe weighty matters. This is fun. Trash talk is great. You know who does a lot of this? The NBA. They always win on social media when the players are going back and forth. This is a huge win for the NFL. Absolutely love every ounce of this. And let me say, the only disagreement I had was with Andrew Luck. He really took a shot at Andrew Luck, which I think is way out of bounds. Otherwise, I thought Jalen Ramsey was spot on. And let me add one thing real quick.
Okay.
When you look at the schedule, this is great news for the Jaguars and the NFL. All of a sudden, Jacksonville's now relevant. In week 1, you can start hyping Jalen Ramsey versus Odell Beckham. Week 2, you think Tom Brady's going to go after Jalen Ramsey? This is going to be an occurring theme throughout the season. Ben Roethlisberger, who he beat twice last year, setting up against Jalen Ramsey in that defense. This is great all around for the NFL.
Okay, listen, first you compare it to the NBA. I don't remember any NBA player saying another NBA player sucked. That never.
Yeah, maybe
no,
suck,
that is
on
that
social
is not.
media. This happens.
He's garbage. No one said suck. No one said garbage. Okay.
I
so this
disagree.
is and then here's the other part to you, Eric. It's hey, look, you can. If it's about you and the guy you're matching up against, but is this negative attention or negative energy from his team to the teams he's playing against? I'm just wondering how Tom Coughlin's going to react.
Well, you know, coaches always have a different perspective. You know, they want you to kind of keep it in-house. As a player, you know, especially the corners are a little bit more outspoken. They go against the receivers one-on-one. And I don't have a problem with it because, like he said, I think he's pretty much spot on, except Andrew Luck. I disagree with that. Andrew Luck has lit him up. Yeah. As a cornerback, they're aggressive anyway. I mean, they are. And as news people, y'all want to hear something good. Well, here's something to write about. He gives me something to talk about. And he's that kind of player. He's young, you know, he's feeling himself. And, you know, like you said, he wants to be the next Deion.
Over the line?
Absolutely not. This is what you expect from a high-profile, elite cornerback. And this is what the Jaguars obviously expect. This is Jalen Ramsey at his best. This is what he does. He's not going to back down from any receiver, let alone any quarterback, or any team for that matter, because he understands I have a supporting cast up front, my front seven, and my counterparts in the back end with me that we're going to get it done. Jalen Ramsey, I think he's a breath of fresh air.
Yes.
I agree with all of that. And I do think it's like, you walk into where a bunch of mechanics are sitting around 5:15 on a Friday drinking beer, and they may say something that's not politically correct, and the second an outsider comes in and is like, whoa, what are you guys talking about? I understand this is the talk of locker room, and this is trash talk about dudes that you've actually gone against, or Josh Allen, who he mislabeled. He said, I saw Josh Allen against Iowa State, and he threw 5 picks. Iowa State's not even a big-time team when it was really Iowa.
Did he throw 5 picks?
Right.
He might have. Eric.
I think he did.
Throw 5 picks?
His team was like, look, but he just got suspended for going after a reporter. My question becomes, Tom Coughlin's running this team. Doug Marrone is from the Tom Coughlin family tree. And the only fear is they're like, yo, look, Jalen, we love you. We love how you play. We love how you go after dudes on a Sunday. But we don't need you going after everybody during the week. That's too much negative attention, too much negative energy. That's, again, the only kind of negative I could see in this. If you do something that your boss has told you to tone down and you crank it up to 11, you're going to feel a repercussion from those statements.
You mentioned Deion Sanders, and that's a great point, Doug. Earlier you mentioned Deion Sanders. And I look at Jacksonville. We can't write about Jacksonville on the big lead. Nobody clicks on the Jacksonville Jaguars. They don't have a fan base. They're probably one of the weakest teams in the league when it comes to fans and national audience. Jalen Ramsey just made them interesting. Isn't that what we want? Eric, we want interesting
you want
on TV.
No,
we want interesting on radio.
Eric, nobody's disputing that this is media gold. right? Like, we're not the only TV show. I just did Cowherd show for 3 hours. It's a great topic. It's great fun. You can have a lot of fun with it. I'm just talking the inner workings of a football team, right? Like, he took it easy on Blake Bortles. He'd do what he got to do, which is like...
See, and I don't think he took it easy on Blake Bortles. I think you're not going to take a shot at your own quarterback, but he gave truth.
Yeah.
He said he'd do what he got to do. Basically
Hand the ball off, right?
Basically saying we need him to manage the game, take care of the football. We got you.
Which is a shot, though.
It
right?
is but it's true.
He could have said he's better than people think.
Hold it.
But he didn't.
But
that's a lie because
Yeah.
he's
was lying about Andrew Luck.
But you know,
It was inaccurate.
Inaccurate, I think. It's just something because Andrew Luck hasn't played in 2 years, so you're like,
Right.
oh, okay, I forgot about it. He did light me up. But when you say the truth is not always pretty. It's not always popular.
Right.
No, but it's the truth.
And it's his truth. It's
right.
his experience. So his experience with Ben Roethlisberger is, shoot, I've caught picks on this guy. He hasn't done anything to interest me to where I can say he's great or he's elite. He has made plays against top tier quarterbacks, even when he says Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady don't suck. This is just Jalen Ramsey not going to give in and saying, oh, they're amazing. No, because he understands I have to stay in their head as well.
No, I listen, I love it, okay? And I do think it's the talk of the locker room, but I also think there's also kind of some clever branding there, right? Richard Sherman made, the interview with Aaron Andrews made Richard Sherman as much as the play of him, right? A.J. Bouye is an all-pro. He's in the same defensive backfield. No one on earth knows he exists because he's not talking like Jalen Ramsey. So as much as it is the truth, he's doing it, I think, for a reason outside of just trying to get in dudes' heads.